We take you to Arizona, where there are some new bipartisan calls today for Secretary of State Katie Hobbs to recuse herself. Of course, she is also running as a Democratic candidate for governor in Arizona. She is facing Republican Kari Lake, and polls show they are in a very tight race. Now we are hearing from two former secretaries of state from Arizona, Democrat Richard Mahoney, Republican Ken Bennett, both joining in those calls for Hobbs to step aside. And Kari Lake responding, tweeting this, quote, "I've been saying for over a year that Katie Hobbs needs to recuse herself as Secretary of State for this upcoming election. I'm glad to see both a Democrat and a Republican former Secretary of States agree this is an unacceptable conflict of interest." Hobbs herself has yet to recuse herself from this, and she tweeted, "Arizona deserves better than a dangerous, divisive conspiracy theorist like Kari Lake. Arizona deserves a proven leader with a track record of success." We want to welcome in David Bossie now. He is president of Citizens United, and he is also a former deputy campaign manager for President Trump in 2016. David, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Bianca. Appreciate it.
Always good to have you in. So Arizona, to be clear, you know, the Secretary of State's office, Hobbs, doesn't conduct the elections, but they are in charge of certifying all the results that every county submits. And, you know, David, you know, if this is a close election, which it could be between herself and Kari Lake, some say this could pose a real problem. Optics, you know, just optics alone, should she be recusing herself?
Well, first of all, Kari Lake is going to trounce her, I think, on Tuesday. So I hope that it's not close. Therefore, it won't be an issue. But there's going to be a lot of election deniers on the Democrat side of the aisle.
Oh, on the Democrats, yeah.
When they start losing races all across the country, there's going to be a lot of election deniers, and we're going to have to hold them to account for what they say and what they do starting on Wednesday. But obviously, Katie Hobbs, who is in a position of power to oversee these things, not to run it, but to oversee it, obviously should recuse herself. I think that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah, well, so far she has decided not to do that. Let's talk a little bit wider here, zero, you know, to the nation, and move just outside of Arizona and kind of look at a wider scope here. There's a new poll by Trafalgar Group we want to share with the folks at home. It finds 60% of independent voters. Well, David, they say their friends and families are voting Republican in the midterms. Can we trust this poll? Fingers crossed. What do you think about this, you know, friends and family, as they say it?
Yeah, we're seeing that in our polling as well. We have a lot of polls out right now in two new ones in Nevada and in Arizona just this afternoon that are showing the exact same thing. Independents are breaking the Republican way, and that's what's going to carry Republicans both in the House, Senate, governor's mansions. We're going to win up and down the ballot because this is a base election. And Republicans are turning out in huge numbers, highly enthusiastic, because they want to elect people to stop this crazy, radical, socialist Biden agenda that has been destroying America for the last 2 years. And the American people are going to show on Tuesday that enough's enough. We can't stand anymore.
And, you know, Trump is out, obviously. Biden's out. A lot of rallies this weekend. We'll be having Trump's rallies live here on Newsmax, David. But, you know, on those races, whether it be Ohio, Pennsylvania, Trump-endorsed candidates, probably a better endorsement than Oprah. What do you say? Certainly. Donald Trump's
endorsement has been an enormous boon for candidates up and down the ballot. It doesn't matter where they're running or for what office. Having President Trump shows the voters of your area, your state, really that President Trump trusts you with the America First agenda, and that you're going to come to Washington to work and be dedicated to that agenda, and not to any one person, but to that ideal that President Trump really created in 2015 and 2016. They want to ridicule us, the ultra MAGA, the extreme MAGA. MAGA stands for making America great again. That's what Joe Biden doesn't get. People who are for MAGA believe in America, believe in making America great again. There's nothing wrong with that. which is why his messaging has fallen on deaf ears.
David Bossie, president of Citizens United and a former deputy campaign manager for Donald Trump. Who knows? Another announcement November 14th. We shall see, but always great to have your insight, David. Have a fantastic weekend.